Started a new game. Okay, so the first thing is you'll see a cutscene. And the first thing that happens is, thanks, Wild. It's gonna bring up your map. So you want to mash. Are you using a PS5 controller? You would mash the touchpad to bring up the map. That's the first thing as soon as you gain control that it's gonna make you do. So you're mashing touchpad as that happens, and then circle to exit the map straight away. So are you in control of the guy? So you mash B, and then you're in control. Right, so the first thing that you need to know is, well, I'm not going to go into obviously too much detail because you don't want to really know, but over where I'm looking now, towards the back there, that's where you're meant to go and stuff. And there's like a cutscene that you skip, a whole area that you skip, another chase sequence on the rooftops that you skip, another cutscene, like just loads. It's basically completely sequence broken by myself in French. So the first thing that you need to do is you need $500. So you see your dollars in the top right are at 0. So this is like, the basics are that there's single dollar notes here, and then there's bunched, you know, like wads of dollars. They're worth 50. These are worth 1. So you want obviously 50s to get your 500, and the 500 is to buy a key to the cemetery. So the first thing we're doing is getting $500. So we get this 50, this and this 50 at the top here. We run back over here and get this 50 at the end here, then back up here to get this 50. And then there's another 50 at the end of this trail as well, and then we continue. And that should leave you on around about 250. You should be about halfway there. Okay, so when you run down this path, it automatically brings up a pop-up menu that you're going to exit with X. It kind of messes up if you keep holding down direction, so you want to let go of that and reapply it as well. And then there's a 50 at the end of this trail as well. And then you keep running round this car. Like, so one thing that you'll notice, if you cut corners too tight, this bump animation, it's so annoying. They actually got rid of it in the sequel, or like basically it's not a sequel, it's kind of like a PS5 enhanced edition, an sort of thing. They got rid of it because they must have known it's rubbish. Do you have sprint on R1? I'm guessing you do. Anyway, you want to avoid this obviously, so take things a little bit wider, and then you get this 50 here. There's a 50 at the end there. And then we're heading over to do the first sequence break kind of skip, which is to get over into that area over there, which you've seen. So you want to jump up here. Letting go of sprint is best, because when you jump on the box, it keeps your sprint momentum for a bit, even when you let it go. And if you keep it held down, it's really difficult to jump up. You'll get a feel for it anyway, but basically the route is up here. I'm not holding sprint. You can either jump up to that corner there, or you can, you know, however you want to get up here. However you feel best. But then now we have to land on this, which isn't intended. This is supposed to be like, you go over into there first, then you have a timed run over here, all the way back up here. And by the time you get here, this is now moving, and it will like move you over to that platform there, which we're jumping to. So you're not meant to make this jump. So the way I line it up is that this rope on the platform that I'm standing on, see this rope here? This rope in this corner here, I stand to the right and I line up that rope with the pillar that's behind it right now on the ground, roughly. That's how I know I've got the kind of good angle. And you're giving yourself a sprinting run facing straight on with R1. And, you know, obviously jump late when you're off the ledge. And then jump straight away once you land onto here. You have to let go of sprint when you land, otherwise your momentum will just fling you to the side somewhere. But that's the jump you've got to make. And then jump your way over to this. No sprinting on here, or you'll just slide off. Just don't even bother sprinting. And make your way to this platform. And then you know where to go. It's another kind of... I'm aiming to jump towards this sort of area on this fence. And you obviously jump very late as well, like while you're... basically your feet are off the platform. Like that. And make it over. That's a sprinted jump. So when you're here, you can let me know. And you want to get that 50. That brings us up to about 420. Or thereabouts. And then you're hopping onto this fence. So you want to get on this fence and turn sideways to the left. And then you're aiming to jump up to grab onto this. It's a bit finicky. So you want to be jumped on from this box, and then you're lined straight on with that pillar that's in front of me right now. And as long as you turn left, hold sprint and run a bit left, and then just jump forward with X. Like that. But yeah, that was too early. This one is also quite precise. This one actually doesn't even work on the UK console version, which is really weird. But it does work on the US console version. Very odd. You're up here? Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Congrats. So we didn't know at the start that that was the case. And French was like, oh, this skips so much. It skips like a whole chase sequence. It starts off down there, by the way. And I was like, dude, how the hell do you do that jump? It like does, I swear, it's so difficult. And French is like, what do you mean? It's like totally fine. He made me like a video with inputs and everything. And then we realized that it just doesn't work on console in the UK version. So then jump down here once you picked up that dynamite. So you don't take any fall damage, and then down to here to get this 50 here. So make sure you got that dynamite. There's 3 dynamite in the game, and we need to get all 3. That's the first one. And then over this fence with a sprint jump. You will take damage there, which is fine. And then just run straight up the street. We're going to grab our last 50, which is up here by this car. There. And then turn right back around to the sewer here. And then B to enter. We're in the sewers. So as soon as you see the screen, take a left and sprint if you can. And it triggers the end of a level that we just skipped. They put the trigger at the end. So it now thinks we've just done an entire sewer level that we've just haven't. You can hold down X to go through these combo boxes. You don't have to mash it or time it. You can just hold down X and it will scroll through them. The last text box is, I look for when it says when you need supplies there. That's when I know it's the last box, and it will come up automatically with this, and it's R1 down on the D-pad, X, B to exit. That's it. That buys you the that buys you the car key Not the cemetery key, the car key, which we need to go fast in a car. But coming down here is also required because you have to complete... The game has to think that you've done the sewer level that we just skipped in order to let us get the cemetery key after this. So that's why we have to come down here. And obviously while we're down here, you have to get a car key. So now we go back up. So we now can enter any cars that we like. Straight away, we're running straight forward to the first car that you see right in front of you. But before you do that, just go left on the D-pad so that it switches to your AK that you now have. The game just gives you it because it thinks we did something that we skipped. So you have to select that because we're about to do a fight. If you don't, it defaults you to your pistol, which is shit. So a quick left press to just so he equips it, and then run straight forward, B, enter car. Then R2 to drive, L2 to brake, and go straight towards the light. I'll go back to where it starts just so that I can tell you the route a bit better than just go. You want to head towards that, see where the lights are coming out of the buildings, that's where you aim to go. You're going down that street with the lights, the lit up buildings, and then straight down this street, you'll see a car that's parked in front of you. That's when you know you need to just about to stop, because we're going to go into this restaurant here. So you exit with B, come around here, enter the restaurant. You get thrown straight into a fight. There's going to be 3 aliens. The first wave is 2 little guys and 1 big guy. So, middle guy, right guy, big guy. And then the second wave is a little guy in the middle, and then 2 big guys. As long as you kind of back into a corner, if they get too close, you should be okay. The worst case scenario is that one of the big guys eats you because he gets close, and that's kind of their attack. And then you just mash R2 and you lose like half a health bar, but you escape. And as soon as you're done, you want to scoop up as many of those green orbs that were scattered around here. You have about 3-4 seconds, about 3 seconds to do that after you've killed the last guy, to scoop up as many as you can before this prompt appears. So, as soon as you kill them all, scoop up as many that you can that are scattered around, and then make it to the prompt here when it appears. And then, obviously, that's not B, it's circle, and then you can hold down through these text boxes to skip. As soon as that's over, come back to here. If you need to turn the camera, obviously do, but you're coming back to the door and exiting. However you feel like you can do that fast. Basically, we're done there. Because now we go to meet the guy around the back of here that's going to give us the cemetery key. Just let me know when you've done the fight and everything. You can sprint around this corner if you want, it's possible, but sometimes you bonk on this and stuff. So I kind of tend to actually sometimes I do sprint if I just feel like fuck it, I'll do it. But just know you might bonk like that. But if you just come around here and then start sprinting, and then around the corner, follow this around, there's going to be an alien that spawns around here somewhere. You just avoid him as best you can, and then speak to this guy with B. Hold down X through his text boxes, he's going to give you the cemetery key. As soon as he does, don't sprint, just jump forward if you're straight ahead. You want to jump on his head and then jump straight over this fence and take a left. To the end of this street where the car is parked, and then we're at the dock. So we're here. This is French's massive skip discovery. There's a whole area behind this fence of like finding keys, fights with aliens like it's a huge portion of the first part of the game, first half of the game. And you can just jump up to the left side of this box and he grabs it. and then you just skip everything and come over here and get the dynamite. So that's 2 of 3. So that was French that found that little beauty. Once you've got that dynamite, you come back into this car. Let me know when you're in the car. Right, so now we just take the street as it comes. Straight around, straight ahead, up through the tunnel. Keep going straight, following the road. There's no crazy turns, it's just pretty much the straightest road that you see. Towards the back of the map, which is the cemetery. There's an invisible wall here. So you know, as soon as you get to here, come out of the car and run up to the cemetery with sprint. Now, with gates and doors and everything, you'll see what I mean, but if you run and hold sprint up to it, you're gonna bang off it. So, you know, once you get to here, just get off sprint. It's because it just does not let you press the B button. Just get to there, or the circle button. So the way that the cemetery works is it's going to give us our 3rd dynamite and last dynamite. There is an option to pick up 2 health boosts. The way that you replenish your health, by the way, is down on the D-pad at any time if you have one of these. They're useful for the final fight. So there's a sequence of gravestones that we visit. There's 4. And the thing to look out for that's going to help you when you're just figuring out where they are is that the ones that are in the sequence all have a rose on top like that. That's your visual aid to look out for while you're running towards them. And they do have to be pressed in a specific sequence, and the sequence is this. From the gate, you go straight to this one with the hat, press it, and then get this vial if you want to, which I do recommend. And then straight down the path, you're going to see one that's a crab. There's that rose that's giving it away. That's the one in the sequence. So we want to get this crab. So it's hat, crab, and then after the crab we go up this hill to the rat. So hat, crab, rat. And then from the rat we go down the hill. And this is when it's useful, because look, there it is. There's the one with the rose on top. And you see that, and it's the dynamite one. So it's hat, rat, crab, dynamite. Oh no, hat, crab. I'm teaching Rob though. He's playing along. So as soon as you've done all those 4, Rob, it spawns in the dynamite straight ahead after the cutscene, and then you just collect that. So now we've got all 3. Alright, we're good. So from the dynamite, we're going to run back. After that cutscene, the health vial respawns. So it's worth it just to pick it up again. Just at least until you feel like, you know what, I don't need it. I would still recommend getting it again. Now you come back to the car and enter it. Now as soon as you enter the car, you're going to be able to press square. Nothing else, just square. And it will respawn you back at the sewers, which is where we need to be. So as soon as you enter that car, square, respawns back at the sewers. Exit with circle, and it's over the car over here to enter the sewers. Take a reverse, a little 180, and then keep the big wall on your right. Just follow it around, the big wall on the right, the big wall on the right. Follow that wall around, so the big wall's on your right. Keep the big wall on your right until you get to this part with the phone booth. Go down the street and take a right. And then it's on this street. just in the middle. You'll see a hot dog stand on the right of the street there, and the sewers is on the opposite of that hot dog stand. You'll get a cutscene here, because I already entered. And then it's, as soon as it's done, the way to go is to the right this time instead of the left. The first time we went down here, you'll remember, we triggered the end level to the left here, which is now open. This time we're going to the right. And it's basically hold down sprint, avoid the rats, follow this path. You can do this part one of two ways. There's a switch here to make a pallet appear here, which you can just ride. But on the first little part here, there's a health vial, which you might want to get, and then just get back on the pallet, back off the pallet. These gaps you can make without sprinting if you just grab the ledge, and you won't take any damage. And then you get off here and just follow it around to the end. B on the wall. Plays a little cutscene. Now, during this cutscene, mash X and forward, and the chances are you might get a double jump in before the text box, like that. I got one jump. Sometimes you can get two jumps before the text box. You ignore the pallet. Excellent. Make sure you get enough health, like heal. Once you get to the rooftop fight here, this is self-explanatory, just fight him, but you can fall off the roof. Just aim and spam him with bullets, basically. He will fight back with lasers, but if you kind of zigzag around, but don't go too close to the ledge, it's really difficult to see both the guy and the roof. So just, you know, just spam him, kill him. You know what you're doing there. Keep bullets on him while he's zigzagging. If you zigzag, he kind of zigzags back to you. The one thing as well, that's a small piece of tech, which I don't really use too much, is that at the end of every clip of your machine gun bullets, if you let go of aim and then re-aim, just pause it here, by the way, if you... Well, it doesn't matter. Basically, if you sprint... what I'll say is, before I go on, as soon as you see this screen appear here that I'm on now, that I'm paused on, sprint forward and run, and you'll make that... You'll make that lift straight away, or elevator, whatever, platform. Just sprint straight away and run to it and jump. But yeah, what was yeah, a piece of speed tech is that if you... Okay, good. I'm glad you skipped ahead. So yeah, the bit of speed tech is at the end of every clip of your bullets, if you let go of aim and re-aim, it skips the reload animation. That's all I was going to say. But I don't really do it much. So there's 3 paths, branching paths through this room. Excuse me. You have to go left first, to the left one first. And then we go through that one to the right. And then the final boss is through the one straight ahead. So you come this way. And then we're going to be doing, obviously, the skips that I just found not long ago. These jumps are really hard because your sprint momentum is kind of whack. I can't really explain them much more than you'll just get used to them, what you can and can't jump to. And then when you get to this last one, this is the fight platform. This is where the fight is, and you want to obviously run around the edge as close as possible. So the way I do this one is I wait till the platform is as far to the side as it's going to go on its cycle, and then I jump straight to that. As long as you're roughly on the edge, it'll let you continue. And then you come to this button here. Press that, it'll play a little cutscene. the first thing that it's going to do once you're out of the cutscene is face you towards the little zippy thing that you go in. So you can either sprint or just walk straight ahead. Sometimes if you sprint straight ahead, you go right past it and it's annoying. So I typically just run up to it and press B without sprint. Plays another cutscene. And out of this cutscene, it always faces you towards the one that you're going in next. So that's always nice. As long as you go left the first time, obviously, the one with the open door. The next one is straight ahead. If you go straight away here, just take your time with these jumps, because you're not going to make the lift cycle that's straight away anyway. So, you know, those jumps are pretty annoying. All I can say is don't use sprint at all on them. Just hop on them. You know, that's all you need to do. If you fall off, remember you've got health vials and stuff like that. Just keep an eye on your health in the top left, and don't use sprint on these platforms. Just jump off them, wait for the next one. Sprint just causes complications with like your momentum and stuff, especially jumping over these pipes and things. You just want to, on this one, you just want to use this one platform here. Just do a couple of late-ish hops, and then this is the fight arena here. So once you've hopped off these platforms onto this one, the next big circle is your fight platform, and you want to go around the edge to avoid it from triggering. So don't do that. So we're back. I go to the left here rather than the right. I don't really know why. Anyway, see, I kind of veered out of the edge there a little bit, and it still was fine. Now this time the switch is on the left here. Press that. It's going to do the same thing. It's going to, after the cutscene, the pipe that you get sucked into or whatever to go back is straight ahead. So just go into it with B. And then you're into the final boss area, which is straight ahead, facing. There's a couple of little laser beams, which you should avoid if you just ran straight. Jump over the little gaps in there. These jumps are kind of annoying. The way that I make sure I make these is that I jump when I'm in this part of the platforms. See, like it has like a border. Once my feet kind of touch that border, I know it's like the best time to jump. But honestly, you'll see that if you sprint and don't swing the camera and try and make some of these, that the momentum just throws you off the corner until you get used to it. It's so annoying. So I'm kind of jumping in those edges, and then you get to the final boss. Let me know if you make it to the final boss. And I'm gonna fight. There's nothing to the final boss other than, remember those green orbs that we saved up from the bar fight that I said to pick up the scattered green orbs? They give you slow-mo for a limited time, which is under your health. So I'll pause it. Actually, no, there's no point in pausing it. Fell through gap of I figured it, yeah. But, so they give you, which is a triangle press, the slow-mo. So the little green bar below my red health bar in the top left is my slow-mo meter from those green orbs that I picked up. So as soon as I press triangle, it goes into slow-mo for that time. I use it to get one of these top eyes, because they're like the most annoying to hit. So I try and get that done first with slow-mo. There's going to be eggs flying at you. There's going to be little alien minions coming at you, whatever it does. Sometimes it's really nice and barely does anything, and then other times it's like horrible to you. So the way I do it is I'm just keeping an eye on my health. If I need to press down to re-heal, then I will. But it's just shoot the eyeballs. Shoot the 6 eyeballs. Try and avoid the things as much as possible. heal as soon as you need to. It's probably best to heal when you're on like 1 bar rather than half a bar, because one more hit you're done. But it's just shoot the things. I find if you strafe, if you're trying to shoot the eyeballs on the left, it's good to sort of walk a little bit to the left as you're shooting, and he kind of like turns for you. You'll get a feel for it anyway. And then once you're done with the left, once you start strafing to the right as you're firing, he sort of turns for you there as well. But yeah, sometimes you can get really good luck with that because barely any enemies come out. And other times he's shaking all over the place. You can barely figure out how to aim at him, and you lose a bunch of time. It's great. Do you think it... I think that was enough. If you need to know anything else, I guess you could just rewind.